good. Beer is good. Beer is good. Let's go drink some beer.
It's 93.7 KZ and the Craft Beer Buzz heading into our Carnage round. Round 3 here. I'm Tommy T along with
Misty.
And we don't have Chuck or Do with us this week, but we have a special whole guest lineup here of people in the studio, the 4 pillars that I'm saying here of the Cheyenne Beer community. We have Ryan from Daniel Marks. We have Joel from Freedom Edge Brewing Company. We also have Vic from the Accomplice, and we've been talking to them pretty much throughout most of the show here, and we've also been hearing from George, but this segment's going to be more about George here. He is from the Cheyenne Beer Social Club.
That's right. Thanks for having me.
You brought your own homebrew with you
I brought a homebrew today. I brought a cream ale choke cherry, and we're going to pour her out here.
And you were just talking to Misty here in between our segments here. You do quite a bit of stuff with choke cherry. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's kind of unique to me, and I've been messing with them, and I picked a bunch of berries last year, and I've made over 5 batches of different choke cherry beers, and we had the Cheyenne Beer Fest here a few weeks ago, and one of the big hits there was my choke cherry chili cream ale.
Oh, okay.
Nice, easy drinking, 4.7%, and once people tried it, they're like, oh, I don't know, the chili. Next thing you know, they were like just coming and drinking it all. One lady wanted to take her chip back from Joel because she liked mine better than his. And Joel said, no, but no. H, no.
It's amazing how many people came up to me that night and like, I know you have a chili beer, but you have to try this choke cherry chili. And it was really good.
That's awesome.
Appreciate that.
When you're a home brewer, is it easy or hard to tell if it's like what the IBUs and all that stuff is in your beer? Like, or do you just have to guess like how effed up you feel when you're drinking? Or what do you, I mean, can I handle 1? Can I handle 5? Like,
yes to all those.
Oh!
Okay.
Most of these guys here started off home brewing just like we did. Yeah. And it's not, they're just a bigger showcase. We have basically the same instruments, same kind of equipment, just a smaller scale. You know, they got the big fancy kettles. We got a nice 10, 15-gallon pot that we boil water in and do all our magic in it. Nice. At the end of the day, it ferments the same. You know, just if you got a garage and love a beer, you just go in and do her. And that's the nice thing about having the beer clubs here in Cheyenne. We got 2 of them, like I said, mainly us, Cheyenne Beer Social Club. We started 7 months ago. And we just like to brew beer.
That's neat. I like that.
Unfortunately, the other co-founder, Sean Miller, he would have been here today too, but he just took a job in Austin, Texas.
Wait, he didn't move, did he? He's coming back? He's
coming back and forth, but
Sean Miller can't move.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
But no, it's kind of we're moving on. It's
good
time. Like I said, we like to enjoy and.
Can we enjoy your beer?
We can.
Not talk and
yes.
pour beer? I'm so being
When I open this can, it has a very unique sound.
Okay.
Cheyenne Beer Social Club.
Wow.
He packed all that into that can. Oh, it's awesome.
How'd you train the yeast to do that?
So as you can see, it's got a very unique. Choke cherries have a nice pinkish, reddish color to them.
Yeah.
I like the density that it looks like. Does it settle if you let it sit, or is it just stay this kind of a cloudy, dense, like
my next thing is I'm going to get with these other 3 professionals here. I would like to find a way to clear this up to where it's not as cloudy, but I don't know if I can.
But I think it's pretty. It looks pretty as a
I don't know
girl.
if I can because there's a lot of peth to it. You know, so when I put it in the secondary.
Peth?
Yes, explain what peth is in case someone mistook
Basically,
you for
anybody
what you
knows
said
about
there.
a choke cherry, it's all seed, except for a little bit of what we call like a cherry. It has the meat around the seed.
Okay.
But there's a whole lot less.
Yes.
There's a whole lot of work to get a little bit of juice out of her.
This tastes really. This has a nice flavor. Choke cherries are a more tart cherry.
They are.
How do you offset that? Because this is not a tart or
choke cherries are
very refreshing. Yeah.
To me, they're a unique berry to work with because they're not sweet. They're not tart. I mean, they're tart. They're dry. So many people, when you're drinking this, you either get the dry part in your mouth at the back end of it, or you get a tart, just like a tart taste in your mouth. And that's the nice thing about adding the chilies to it. Unfortunately, we don't have that. I apologize for that.
That's okay.
But you get the nice chili meat smell out of it, and then a little bit of heat, because I don't make it very hot. I don't try to get hotter than pepper. Because most people don't like hot food, so...
Well, so the thing is with chili beers is I like like when you get the flavor of the chili more than the heat of the chili, because every chili has a nice distinct like flavor to it.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't necessarily want to be like in pain and burning, but I like that chili flavors.
Oh, I like
awesome.
the heat, but not necessarily pain and burning, but a nice little sweat on my bald head. Yeah.
Well, I do too. So I like to brew to the 90% of the people,
Okay.
not the 10%.
Yeah. That's
all
probably
good.
a wise
10% of us-
decision
How about
there.
you
We
brew
want,
to 100%
we
of
want
you?
ghost peppers in my choke cherry
Yeah.
or in our
Oh.
food. So that's the thing is I brew to the 90% to protect out once. For one, my wife doesn't like hot food, so I kind of brew for the wife also.
I just think it's neat that you can do that. You can like offset the heat and just keep the flavor of a chili. So I think that's really kind of cool.
And like I said, you get the heat and the smell up front of the chili, and then it finishes off dry, and they're like, oh, now I get it.
So
To me, I can get the smell of the cream ale in there right at first, then I get the chili meat smell.
Oh, that's probably another reason why it's a nice creamy looking beer. It's a cream ale. Okay.
I tried it in a pale ale. I put my beer in for a judge. The judges ate it alive. I wasn't following the spec guidelines. So I switched up, and I found the cream ale. I said, I like these cream ales, and to me, it's been working out great. Now I'm just tweaking the recipe. That's the nice thing about homebrew is we can do things like this because who's going to pick, I don't know, 105-gallon buckets of choke cherries to put in your guys' commercial tanks? I'm not. 5 gallons is enough for me.
The local homebrew club community.
The homebrew club donation. Speaking of donations and communities, you guys, you get your ingredients from a special place that supports homebrewers, and then also some other businesses like Victor's support them. So, can we talk about that?
Yeah, that's the Cheyenne malting Pine Bluffs Malting Company or plant?
Wyoming Malting Company.
There we go.
Okay.
Wyoming Malting Company. That's okay. I was like, where is that?
They're
But
out
when
of
he
Pine
said, I
Bluffs,
knew- yeah.
and they started up a couple years ago, and they're doing great work, and they're fully invested in the community. They're fully invested. Like we had a beer comp here. We had 2 homebrew clubs basically battling it out there at the Cheyenne Beer Fest, and won a grand prize. Of course, Victor from Accomplice donated 11 pounds of Pioneer hops.
Yes.
Nice.
Delicious.
We're going to be making a lot of ESB beers, I can tell you now. It's 11 pounds. And the Cheyenne, I keep got Cheyenne in my mind, I'm sorry, but the Wyoming Malting Company there, they donated 150 pounds of grain to us. Very dedicated to the community. They're always doing stuff with them. And
So they're also known as Pine Bluffs Distilling, is that correct?
Yeah, it's
Correct.
the same company.
Thank you.
Same
Okay. So you'll be more familiar with that brand than you would be with the Wyoming Malting Company.
Correct.
So if you guys can ever get out to Pine Bluffs Distilling, support them. I know that Victor with Accomplice, you guys purchased some of your ingredients from them as well.
Yeah, our base malt, pale malt comes from them, and our wheat malt comes from them.
So
they have great products. I love it.
I love how it just comes in full circle. I know you guys have used them in the past, the other brewers, or you're currently, Yeah, so I just love how it comes full circle with how they're supporting the home brewers clubs, and we've got our brewery supporting them. So I think that's awesome.
Yeah,
Gives
that
me
is
goosebumps.
nice.
Can I have more of your choke cherry cream ale?
You can.
Speaking of full circle,
Yes. Oh, I should ask for the original one.
how about the rest of you guys who have tasted, George's homebrew here?
It's really good. Heavy on the cherry. There's almost a wine character from it because there's
Oh,
so
yeah.
much fruit involved.
Maybe that's why I like
It's
it.
really, really good. Nice and dry, drinkable.
Yeah, I really enjoy the dry factor to it. It leaves you wanting more of it.
Yeah.
Need another drink.
Oh,
Yeah,
do I
but-
just? Yeah, I asked for more. That's,
I was going to
that's
say, it does
totally
not leave
true.
its heart,
Yeah, no.
taste in my mouth, though. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need popcorn to make people drink more beer. I just got to
Oh,
give them this.
They don't need it.
They don't
just
have
know
the
we
salt
want
and butter drying their mouth out. I just drink one of these, and there you go.
Or an awesome menu like the Accomplice.
It. Yeah. Victor, what do you think of it? This
I
is your
like
bird
it.
now.
I agree with George in that the choke cherries have like kind of a real unique and like more complexity, honestly, than a different like a regular like either pie cherry, tart cherry, or sweet cherry. It doesn't taste like either of them. It's like you drink it, you're like it's a cherry, but it's not. It's different, and it's unique. I like it.
Yeah.
Very unique. And there's no sugar or nothing like that added to the recipe. It's just basically a cream ale recipe.
So the cream ale aspect offsets the tartness of the choke cherry, then I would assume, because I was going to say, how do you offset it? But if it's got to be with the cream ale.
Mainly the flavor is just straight up choke cherry. The cream ale or any base beer you put
ever
with
eaten
it,
a
it's
choke
just a
cherry
carrier.
out of
Yes, it's
Okay.
very, very bitter.
Oh, okay. But that's really what brought it all together there as far as come up with the final taste that you were like, okay,
Well,
this is it. Yes?
You don't see it anywhere, yeah. It's just, you don't see it. No one's going to really go. I hear there's a brewery in South Dakota or North Dakota that does it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen them, haven't heard about them. I've been trying to research them, see what they're doing, but I haven't found none yet. But, to me, it's just unique. I like unique beers. Why make something that everybody else is making?
Yeah.
So-
That's the nice thing about a homebrew club.
Yeah.
Guys, if you're judging your beer, send them to the judges. Yeah, you got to follow the guidelines. But nice thing about homebrew, you just experiment, make what you want when you want it.
I have a
if your
friend that
buddies
makes
and
a
your
good
wife
chili
like
beer.
it doesn't matter what everyone else thinks.
Yeah.
So if someone's listening and they want to, say, join the Cheyenne Beer Social Club, how can they join it? Is there some
Couple
social
different
media,
ways.
phone number or something?
We are on Facebook, Cheyenne Beer Social Club. You type that in on groups and you'll find us. We'll be glad. Basically, we have no dues or nothing like that. We just like to gather. And like I said earlier, the last session there is that we meet at Tusker's Bar there off of Ridge and Pershing.
Okay.
From 1 to 4 the last Sunday every month. And we
Cool.
try to do other things. We did a beer hop not too long ago. Well, it's been a couple months. And we hit all the breweries and we did a nice walk.
I love that.
We had a blast.
Victor, do you want to do any plugging? Is there a way for anyone to look at your menus or the brews you have on tap? Is there Facebook?
There's
Yeah.
something big
anything
happening
that?
in
Yeah, or
August.
anything happening?
Yeah.
Our menu is online on our website, so it's just www.accomplicebeer.com. And we have our beers online, but it's if you want to see what beers we have on tap, I go on Facebook because that's updated daily. So it's
Okay.
our beers change quite a bit because we always have a couple guest taps on and stuff. I do want to plug one beer that we just
Okay.
had come out
Yeah.
on Monday. Speaking of Ryan, they came out with a sour, so we came out with a sour.
Oh, dun dun dun.
I was about to ask, is sour the new thing here?
Is it the new
Well-
IPA?
Yeah, okay.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not.
I agree.
But so we had a new sour we just tapped on Monday. It's a Gosa. It's we're calling it Eastside Jam,
Nice.
And-
Sorry, I think it's cool.
and it's a peach hibiscus Gosa, and it's got a pretty striking I'm gonna call magenta color. So come in, and let me know what you think. If you guys like it, I'll make some more, I guess.
Okay, and Ryan, that sour you were mentioning earlier in the show. Tell us about that again here as we're wrapping up.
We call it the Guavinator.
Guavinator, okay.
So
it's
two
a-
different
just a-
sours.
It's a great name.
Yeah, Guava Berliner Weiss, but we just call it a Guava Sour because no one knows what a Berliner Weiss is. So.
Okay, and as far as people seeing Daniel Marks Brewing on social media or places like that,
Yeah, we're on Facebook. We probably should have a bigger hold on Facebook, but we're a small community of.
Just
okay,
advertise
well, yeah,
on
you
radio
need to
with
go.
us.
There you go. Advertise on KAZY. Yes.
We have
Contact Misty right here.
Plugging myself.
all our stable beers are on our website. But
Okay.
the rotating series, that's Facebook as it
Nice.
comes up. So
Okay, but for those of you listening, go to their Facebook page and like and follow and share and all that good
Yes,
stuff.
please.
And finally, Joel, as far as Freedom's Edge Brewing, anything as far as social media goes, or do you have anything going on there specifically, say, coming up in August?
Definitely, we're on social media. You can find us on both Facebook and Instagram.
Okay.
And then online, we have a menu on there that's up to date with events, beers, and that's freedomsedgebrewing.com. As far as events going on in August, it's hard to say. There's so much stuff going on.
Okay.
Seems like we have an event going on every other day.
Okay, so
So-
they should check the social media,
Yeah,
those
please
things
check
you
out
mentioned
social
there.
media or come into the tap room, of course. Look at the event board that we update every
Oh,
month.
that's
and
neat.
Oh,
what's
excellent.
going on,
Event
what's
board, yeah.
coming up.
All right, well, there you go.
So,
All right, well, I think we've beaten this one to death this week, Misty.
you've beaten me to death.
Yeah, there you go. A special edition of the Craft Beer Buzz here on Cheyenne Day here on 93.7. We'd like to thank our four guests this week. Ryan from Daniel Marks, Joel from Freedom's Edge, we also have Vic from The Accomplice, and finally George from Cheyenne Beer Social Club. Thank you very much, guys, for coming in this week. We hope we can do it again next week. Okay, well, maybe down the road a bit.
I was like, no, what? I can't do this again next week.
it's not very far.
All right, Misty, well, I think we're done this time, and we're actually
Be safe during
still
Frontier
kind of
Days.
standing.
Yeah.
Yes, stay safe, guys, but do have fun during
Yeah.
Cheyenne Frontier Days, and we'll see you next week here on the Craft Beer Buzz on 93.7 KZ. The podcast will be up on YouTube here shortly.
Thanks, Peppermill.
Thanks, Peppermill.